Hey guys, welcome back to Bass with Bryce. It's Fishing Talk Friday. Today I have a really special video for you guys. It's going to be about Texas rigging. Personally, this is my favorite kind of rig to use, either in the summer or the fall. It works really well wherever there's a lot of cover, so you can get it into the cover and get the tough fish to go and bite it whenever they go into hiding, either if it's warm or if it's starting to cool off. So this works really well where I fish because there's about every sort of cover you can imagine. There's trees, stumps, logs, grass, rocks, everything. So I'm going to really need to Texas rig so I can get it down where the fish are and so I can't snag. Because if you just keep snagging, it's going to make your fishing day really hard. And if you don't get it where they are, then that's also going to make your fishing day hard, so you're not going to catch any fish. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to Texas rig, if you don't know yet. It's relatively easy to rig up. It doesn't take very long. So what you're going to do is take one thing before I get started, I'm going to suggest using braided line. So if you get in some rough cover, you can easily tear it out and it won't break your line. So you're going to put a bowl of weight. The size depends on how deep the water is, wherever you're trying to fish or where you're trying to get it into, if you want it to fall quickly. So you're going to take, with that bowl of weight, you're going to stick it, your line onto it first. And once it's through, want it to fall down. Then you're going to want to take your hook. This is a rather large hook, and I believe this is a 4/0. You're going to want to, depending on the lure you're going to use, depending on how much bigger it is, depends on how much bigger your hook's going to be. Usually it'll say what to use, but I'm just going to be using this for examples. So you're going to tie that hook on. I suggest also using the Palomar knot, because it's going to be stronger for pulling through the cover. And if you don't know how to tie the Palomar knot, I have a video up on my channel giving you information on how to tie it. And it also tells about the improved clinch knot if you're wondering about that too. Just finishing on my Palomar, then I'll also show you how to rig it up and what else, or what type of baits to use on it. And with Texas rigging, you're going to be able to also pitch it into cover if you have close cover and you don't want to throw as large of a profile as a jig. See here you have that it's set up. I'm not going to take out my tagline, but you guys should. So for worm type of baits, I'll show you. This is I'm just going to put on a cream lure ribbon tail worm. Then I'll show you the other baits in a little bit. So what you're going to do, you can see this close up, you're going to want to stick it through this part of the worm, hook it up and out, like so. It should look like that right now. Move this all the way up so it's at the end, almost. Sometimes I like running it a little bit up the line. So right now it should look like that. One thing I like about cream lures is the bottom, so you know where to hook this part into. So one thing that I've really learned that it really helps out, you line this up, and wherever the end of the round bend of the hook goes, so let's say it's right there, you're going to want to hook that part in your hook. So it's going to help it, it's flat now. And then what you're also going to do to help against cover, you're just going to take that worm, slide it, and skin hook it so it doesn't get caught into any of the grass. And so to work this bait, you're basically either going to pitch it or cast it. What I like to do, I like to give a couple twitches, maybe a few reels, and then I'll let it sit. And I'll just keep repeating this depending on the conditions and if I know they're active or not. If they're active, I'm going to reel it pretty quickly and give it several twitches. But if they're not active, I'm only going to twitch it every once in a while and reel it really slowly on the bottom of the water where I know they're going to be. And if the water's clear, you're going to want to use more natural colors. Like you're going to use more brownish type of bait because it'll imitate a real worm. rather than if the watercolor is darker, you're going to also want to use darker bait to help cast a shadow. So now, to the crawfish type of baits. This is the ridge-tail space monkey. This is June bug color, so it'd be better for if you're going to be fishing more cloudy days. It's going to imitate the crawfish and give off a big shadow. Here's this. It's also pretty cool because it has on the end, I'll try and see if you guys can see that, there's little ridges where your hook is eventually going to get into, so it gives you a sense of direction. This hook might be a little bit too large for this, but I'm going to still attempt to do it. It's almost exactly the same thing. Stick the end of it into the hook, flip it around, run it up onto your line almost, twist it so it runs through correctly, and then you're going to want to take it, hook it through at the end of the round bend, and then I messed up a little bit on this one, so it'll take a little bit for you guys to get used to because I've been Texas rigging for a while. I still every once in a while mess up with it. There we go. Now we're going to skin hook it. And now it should look just like that. Then you have your weight, which is sliding. It's going to be able to slide and help depend where your baits go. And this works with any sort of crawfish bait. If you want to go a little bit more finesse, you can use a smaller type of crawfish bait too. And then you just use a smaller hook. Okay, lastly, this is going to be more of a creature type of bait. This is a lizard bait by Cream Lures. This is really going to be for natural water because it's a greenish pumpkin color for the creature bait, so it looks a lot more realistic. Has some cool little paddle tails, so it might also, if you want to trim these off, it'll look almost like a crawfish. So yet again, same thing. Put it through the hook, put it around, up and through, line it up with the bend, put it through there, and then finally, for your final step, skin hook it. This would work really well as a finesse bait. It'll be interesting to try this out in the fall. If you can see that. And that's about it. All I have to talk about for Texas rigging. I suggest you guys go and try out the new techniques I told you guys. And make sure to stay tuned for my next Fishing Talk Fridays and all of my videos. Please make sure to subscribe, rate, and comment. And make sure to comment the next Fishing Talk Friday and what I should talk about.